the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Super Bowl Sunday. Eagles, Chiefs. Chiefs down to a 1-point favorite here at Circa and several other spots. Our guest in studio is Anthony Curtis, Las Vegas advisor. Who do you like in the game?
You know, mid-year, somebody asked me, who do you pick for the Super Bowl? I said, I pick Eagles to win it. I was in the middle of the year. I always buy my son a futures ticket for the Super Bowl on each side, and I bought him Eagles. So I'm on Eagles. At the end of our pod today with Fezzik and Frank, we asked everybody, we're all on the Eagles.
All on the Eagles, okay.
Yeah, and leaning under. Leaning under
as well.
Yeah. And Fez thinks it could get down to pick?
He thinks Fezzik says it's going to go to pick. So it hit as high as 2. I didn't see any 2.5s.
Okay.
I saw 2. It dropped to 1.5. It was 1 today. Fezzik says it's going to hit pick.
We cover everything here, and again, you're the man about town. This is great. How about a gentleman's club that is offering a $5 burger, fries, and a beer?
How about that?
That is great.
$5. It's a burger. It's a good burger, a huge thing of fries, and a bottle of a Bud product. A Bud or Bud Light. Not a cup. A bottle. $5 from 8 in the morning to 6 at night, 7 days a week. It's Spearmint Rhino.
Oh, my God, I might be swinging by on my way home.
Yep, and if you're a local, it's free to get in. If you're a non-local, as long as you don't come in a rideshare or in a taxi, you also tell them you're coming to eat, and you're 9 out of 10 to get in. You could get an idiot at the door who won't do it. But they all say, I talked to everybody, they said, oh, no, we let you in, as long as you're not driven there, because they have to pay a bounty for bringing, to a cab for bringing you. But it's $5. It's a hamburger and fries and a beer or a personal pizza. The pizza wasn't too good. I mean, it was kind of like cafeteria pizza, but still, for $5.
$5?
The beer itself.
Do they have daycare?
Well, you could.
Planning on bringing Sebastian?
Yeah.
I think I just figured out where I'm taking Lorraine on Valentine's.
Yeah, you'll need divorce court after that, too.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, here's
a tip?
Yeah, here's the other hack.
Okay.
Don't go there by yourself, because the girls are going to be all over you. They have Spearmint Rhino is one of the strip clubs that is busy all the time. And they
nuts on the weekends.
You want to go with a friend.
Yeah,
you want to go with a friend, so you can at least tell them, hey, we're having a business thing, and they'll kind of leave you alone, unless you're there to meet the girls. So okay.
Yeah, well said. Well said. You cover it all. How about run through the new or the haven't been around that long, but how the property's doing? Resorts World, Fontainebleau, and Virgin.
Oh, Virgin doing terrible, obviously, because they just got off a 68-day strike. So that didn't help them at all. At least that strike has been settled. Fontainebleau still doesn't know what it wants to be when it grows up. Does it want to be a casino or a hotel? Mm-hmm. They kind of want to be a hotel, which doesn't make much sense. They don't have much there except for the gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful place that it is. And
I love it inside there.
It's gorgeous.
I think yes.
But they just hardly anybody. It doesn't seem like anybody's ever playing there, and they don't have video poker at any bar except the Sportsbook bar. It's just strange. I mean, even Wynn has video poker bars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Resorts World kind of gets better and better. Resorts World just put in something Palace. What's Genting Palace? In Genting Palace there, which is their fine Chinese restaurant, fine eating Chinese restaurant, they just put in a buffet Wednesday through Sunday, and it's like $50.88 Wednesday, Thursday, and $60.88. Notice the 88 on the weekends, where there's all kinds of fresh seafood, snow crab. Shrimp, oysters, raw.
That to me sounds like it would absolutely be worth it to go down to.
It is. And most people in there are eating off the menu. So it's not a huge buffet. So you're like, really? But it's really good stuff. They carve Peking duck right there on the buffet.
I'm in. That's all you have to say.
You can come, and nobody's at the buffet because they're all ordering at their table. So you just keep going up as much as you want. And they're carving the Peking duck with all the fixings right there. And you go to they got the hoisin sauce and everything else.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm in.
Everyone coming to town, we have to get you have to get the coupon book. Tell people about your coupon book at Las Vegas Advisor.
Yeah, member rewards book. We do it every year. And, we're a club. Las Vegas Advisor is a club. It's $50 to join. And that way, you go into our website, which is mostly paywalled, not all of it. People can come to our website and see things that are free. But you get that, but everybody does it because of the coupons. We got the best coupon book to Vegas. There's no doubt about it. We got the best coupon book to any destination that I've ever seen. A lot of gambling coupons in here. The EV of the gambling coupons, we always do the analysis, $498. So if you played all the gambling coupons optimally, $498. 55 of that is utter free play. So you pay 50 for the LVA and you get 55. Now they're not all in the same place. You got to go from place to place. But it's not a match play. They just give you $10 here. Gamble it.
It's awesome.
It's a great book. It's one of the best we've ever had.
What are you excited about? What you're coming out with now, book wise? And there's a couple here, but I'm excited about your book about an advantage player.
Yeah, Advantage Players is the next one. That may go to the press next week. That's written by Michael Kaplan, who is the best gambling mainstream writer. I mean, there's a lot of good gambling writers who write for in the industry, but Kaplan writes for the New York Post. He writes for Cigar Aficionado, and for some reason, there was a guy before him named Michael Koenig. He's the guy who wrote The Man with the $100,000 Breasts. Mm-hmm. And Michael Koenig was granted entree into the gambling world. He was accepted and allowed to hang around and write stories about it. Well, his successor was Kaplan. And Kaplan's writing this story, a book called Advantage Players.
Would the guy come on with us? Did he respond?
Which one?
The guy with the breasts?
Oh, he said he will, but he always says
you have
that.
to be there. You have to be with him.
I have to be there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can set that up.
What a life! He never took him out.
But Kaplan will come. But Kaplan will come on when he does. When that book comes
that would
out.
be amazing, yeah.
And it's not just casino stories. It's about people who have used Advantage Play in other areas. There's stuff in there about strippers. There's stuff in there about guys that were phone hackers. There's all these different things. And there's one thing called Over the Line, which means they're actually kind of cheating. It's a really good book.
Awesome.
I mean, Mesrick blurbed it. Ben Mesrick from Bringing Down the House.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote biographies of Mike Tyson and Howard Stern and all this. He's a front cover blurb. I mean, all these big writers read it and said, "This is a great book."
Oh, that's can't wait to read it and also talk to him. Now, here you go. You, you've been playing, or you played blackjack. That's how you basically came out to Las Vegas originally. You wanted to do it professionally. One of the best to ever do it. What is this that you can tell us about the World Championship of blackjack? Yeah,
we're looking at putting it together. It's me and Mike Aponte. Mike Aponte, known as MIT Mike. All right, he was we just mentioned Mesrick, Bringing Down the House, of the movie 21. Mike was one of the characters there. He was the character Frazier in the book, kind of a team leader, kept everybody in line. Mike came to me about a year ago and he said, why don't we put together, the World Series of Poker just went bonkers and broke records. Why don't we do a World Series or a World Championship of Blackjack? So we've been working on it for a year. We've got all the pieces in place except for all the sponsorship. We need a little more sponsorship to get it off the ground. What else is new? The money is holding it up. But we've got, guess who has committed to host it? Circa. Circa's going to host it. I told Derek about it. He says, we're in.
Really?
We're going to do it. Yeah, so we're going to hold it here. We've got, I can't mention any names, but we're looking for sponsorship. We're getting kind of close. I say it's going to happen. And we're going to have 25 to 50 of the greatest players in the world. It's going to be an invitational. And then, if it's successful and it works, we're going to open it up for buy-in just like they do the World Series.
Oh, boy. Okay.
There you go.
Can people come to Circa and watch it live?
Oh, yes, they can absolutely. They can come and watch it. And it's going to be, we got a deal with Tubi.
That was my next question then.
Yeah, Tubi is going to, we had a choice between Tubi and the platform from Mark Cuban. And Tubi's better. So we went with Tubi. That's where we're at right now. And a bunch of deals with influencers, a bunch of deals with pro athletes, a bunch of deals with the best players in the world. That's what we're going to do. And then if it works, we're going to open it up and the public can buy in and try to become the world champion.
Wow. Is Frank B going to be a part of it? Because didn't he win the blackjack ball twice?
Yeah, he will play. He will absolutely be he'll be without question, he'll be one of the players. He's a very good tournament player. So, yeah, he'll be playing. I might play or I might be the analyst. I don't know.
I was actually going to – okay, so would you be able to if you're the creator of it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing against it. I might do it, but I might be in the booth. I might be the analyst. I don't know. So we'll see. But I'm telling you, we're going to have the best. I mean, all these guys like Don Johnson, these guys that you've read about that won all this, guys like Rothstein and all this, we're going to have them.
Can you tell the WSOP story in a minute?
Real quick. Okay. Yeah, the guy who won it this year, and I don't remember his name, but he was a very good player, a pro, but there was a bunch of backlash because he kept running to the rail and talking to his friends who were giving him information off of their computers. They were running programs with GTO, Game Theory Optimal, telling him what he can and should do based on prior hands when they saw it. And there was a big uproar about that, and WSOP came out and they said no more of that. Nobody's going to talk to anybody on the rail who has anything like a computer near them or an earpiece or anything else, which is a good move. I'm glad they should have done that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Whether you're seasoned bet or just joining the action, Super Bowl success starts with VSiN Super Bowl betting guide. It's packed with everything you need to make informed wagers. Everyone's picks, props, MVP picks as well. Become a subscriber today as little as $9.99. Get your copy of the guide. VSiN.com/subscribe. Sign up now. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get the guide. More coming.
Okay, so you're talking about the podcast that's coming out this week, the Las Vegas Advisor podcast on YouTube, and it's going to be professional sports bettors. Well, bettors Frank B. and also Fezzik.
Yeah, you want to watch it. I mean, we tried not to make it over everybody's head, but we also didn't go low. So they talk about props. They talk about, like I said, hedging. They talk about parlays, they talk about teasers, they talk about the stuff they talk about. And my partner in this, Andrew Hunt, afterwards he goes, "What were they talking about?" So it's high enough, it's high enough level that people are going to get stuff out of it.
Where do you watch the big game?
Running around, place to place.
Great.
Yeah, and put it on the radio.
Can't wait to talk
Do
to
you
you
really?
next week.
Yeah, and you just tape it in and go back and watch it if you want to a little bit later on?
No, I don't care. I mean, the bets are made, the bets are done. It doesn't make any difference. Like if you're watching a UFC fight, you want to see the fight because these guys are going to fight again. But it's going to be a new season next year. There's no more games. I don't need to see it.
Okay.
And, I land somewhere.
Unbelievable.
Great to see you again.
It's always good to be here, guys.
Love having you in studio. There you go. LasVegasAdvisor.com as well. Anthony Curtis with us here on Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good basketball card tonight. NBA and college basketball. Some of the best teams in college hoops at home are in action tonight. St. John's, they're 14-0 at home, 8-6 ATS. Auburn's 9-0 at home. Houston, Wisconsin, UCLA, and BYU are all 11-1 at home. They're not covering every game, but just to win outright. Those are some pretty damn good records. Florida's 10-1 at home. Iowa's 11-2, but they're 7-point dogs to Purdue. Texas Tech is 11-2 at home, and Mississippi hosting Kentucky tonight. Ole Miss 10-2 straight up at home this year. I think Kentucky plus 4.5 is a pretty solid number.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, and I like BYU in the late game. That has moved 2.5 points, though. Mm-hmm. BYU 11-1 at home, and they need it like blood. They are in the play-in game as an 11 seed, according to Joe Lenardi right now. So playing better ball, but this would be a big feather in their cap if they can get it. Arizona 9-1 in league play. That's a good late game coming up, and I agree with the move on BYU. And you start the day where we're 10 minutes away. St. John's and Marquette, good game. But I know the under seems to be popular, but St. John's, it's tough because to be 17-3 against teams with a winning record. But you have to have a lot of respect for Marquette here. But it's Patino. And again, I love what Pat Forty wrote, Sports Illustrated. How good are they? I don't know. But every guy on the team talks about we can't lose. It's unacceptable. We can't think of it because we don't want to face the wrath of Patino if we blow a game. So it's not considered an option. You got to win at all costs.
I thought this was interesting with that total getting all the way up to 148 a little bit earlier today. Looking at 5 different sets of projections out there, including Tyler Shoemaker here at VSiN, VSiN.com, using Ken Palm, Bart Torvik, some others. Like all of them had it under 147.5 or 148. Tyler was actually the highest number with his set of projections at 145.4. Others were down to 140, even as low as 138.5 in this game, which would give you, clearance by 10 full points in that spot. So, if the projections mean anything at all, then the total on that play would be good to the under, you would think, in that game. UCLA, I mentioned this, that they're 11-1 at home. They're playing Michigan State. Michigan State going to be probably a little ornery after their first loss in several weeks. On Saturday at USC, they were upset. Now UCLA laying 2 in this game. Total is 140.5. Also, UCLA playing much better basketball. They won 5 straight, and they just killed Oregon 78-52 in that spot. So,
don't you want to play Baylor? Didn't we just see this?
I think the number's too high.
Yeah, letdown spot. Texas Tech breaks Houston's 33-game home court winning streak.
Yeah, they're laying 8 now.
I know, 8.5.
That's a big number.
Came down a little. I know.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. That Baylor could maybe scare them.
You see something on Embiid for tonight?
Embiid's going to play 30 minutes tonight. So last check, Sixers were up to 4, and maybe someone got in front of the information. But go out there for 30 minutes, 4.5 now, and Washington's out for Dallas. Davis will not play until Thursday or maybe Saturday, although Christie will play for the Mavs. And we'll see if also what they're made of, a little bit of fight after what happened, losing by 40 to the Cavs last time out and giving up 91 in the first half. So the Sixers have been playing better ball. They've been good offensively. They just blew that huge lead against the Celtics on Sunday. So now up to 4.5 and trying to make their playoff push. No Paul George, no Eric Gordon, and Embiid going to go 30 minutes, though.
Mm-hmm. Lakers are playing at the Clippers. The home team here, the Clippers at the Intuit Dome. Big favorites tonight, 8.5. Total is 221. So they just played here, same location, January 19th. Clippers buried them 116-102. Powell's going to play tonight. LeBron is probable. So I know there was some speculation that he might miss. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. There's no Luka in this game. He's going to come back, they think, on Saturday?
Yeah, maybe. He's doing 5-on-5 now. Yeah,
possibly.
Fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah. So,
well, it's a great win Saturday, but it's... I don't know. The Clippers are off a bad loss, too. They're going to be in a foul mood.
The Lakers team total is 106.5. I have not played that to the under yet. Your point about how they've been there already might be something, but I don't know. The Clippers at home with this defense overall.
Number 2 in the league, yes.
The
wall is real.
Yeah, and they've been burying
something
teams
to
there.
it. Second worst free throw percentage in the league. Teams in that building. That's something to focus on. I know a couple of people have been putting together numbers and tracking it as well. Which, but I throw a little bit of it out because the Lakers have already been there. But yeah, also an interesting spot too when you have the big celebration in the press conference today, introducing Luka, and then you got to go out and play a game. So
so the trade deadline is 2 days away.
You got to make a move, Rob.
They got to make another one. Yeah.
I know, but he said the focus on a rim protector is probably going to be more in the summertime. Which, good luck if this is your team.
I know. Well, here's the thing, right? That deal for Luka was not made for this year. I mean, that was made for the next 10 years.
Right, but you still got a gift of all gifts that you kept Reeves in the pick.
And
turn that into
kept all of it.
Yeah, turn that into something now.
Yeah, I don't.
I still think you have to go for it because of LeBron's age.
To me, it's. I don't know how this is going to be possible to have Reeves and LeBron and Luka on the team moving forward. It doesn't make much sense at all because all three guys, like Luka dominates the ball. He's going to have the ball in his hands all the time. Okay, well then that's kind of what Austin Reeves already does for the Lakers, and then LeBron is LeBron. So it's just unnecessary to have all three of them. You're going to have to pick up some sort of different piece on this team, and Reeves is the odd man out, obviously. So he's going to have to go somewhere for something. Who knows what that's going to be? Do you like this possible deal? The Bucks are hot and heavy.
Yeah.
To get Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting rid of Middleton though.
Well, that's yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind it. Yeah.
Okay. Because you think it's just like
you got to get him off the books with that absurd contract. He's always hurt, and you can't go to war with him.
Could they do any better than Kyle Kuzma for him, or is that like the absolute best case scenario?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if they could either.
It's probably yeah.
Unfortunately, like Chris Middleton had a stretch. Like when completely healthy, Chris Middleton is outstanding. But I mean, as much as we laugh at guys like Anthony Davis is called street clothes, and the other nickname that somebody threw out there was Data Davis, Anthony Data Davis. A lot of these guys get ripped on because of their injuries. Like Middleton never gets ripped on. Or called untrustworthy. But and it sucks for him because once it starts to snowball, you're going to be banged up all the time. It's unfortunate, but you're going nowhere with the guy. The Bucks have zero chance to win the East.
The other thing I'm focused on is that Phoenix is doing whatever they can to get Butler, and Butler's doing whatever he can just to go there. And they thought he had a deal done in Golden State, and just
Yep.
Yep. The other one too. I hate that they keep doing this. 2 games, 14 games. 3 games, 12 games. It's a huge hockey card. And updated numbers go on the first 10. At home, St. Louis, 9-1 run. Chicago, 16-3. Buffalo, 17-4. Pittsburgh, 13-3. San Jose, 15-4. Goal on the first 10 on the road. Edmonton, 18 of 21. Toronto, 12-2 run. Vancouver, 6 in a row. Seattle, 5 in a row. Overall, goal in the first 10. Toronto, 20 of 24. Chicago, 15 of 18. St. Louis, 14 of 17. Dallas, 12 of 2. Missed one. Dallas also 7 of 8 on the road. Thanks to Ian Duncan for those numbers as well, and it's a good hockey card.
Sure. But I take it back, by the way. The Bucks clearly have a better chance than 0% to win the East. Some things would have to happen. I don't give them much of a chance to win the East. But 39 injuries could happen, and they come, out of that conference like it did in 2021, and they won the whole thing.
Card. I'll tell you, it's getting fun with bracketology now, too. When you look at some of these numbers and what Lenardi thinks these guys, the SEC thing just blows my mind.
Well,
13 teams. Not only 13, it's one thing to say I'm going to get 12 or 13 teams in. Look at what the seeds are. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 5. I mean,
3 1 seeds for one conference. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to shake out like that, but how many of these other leagues are actually, like Iowa State, doing themselves no favors here? It's almost to the point where they can kiss a one goodbye.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. Right? And meanwhile, Duke's going to be playing cupcakes for much of the year that's left in the regular season. King in the North, Derek Stevens coming up next. And no big game is complete without a classic game of squares. Make it even better with Circa Squares bets from Circa Sports. We all know the pain of pulling those terrible numbers. At Circa Sports, you get to choose your square, the numbers you want. Each square has its own odds, and you're always in control of your bet. Download the Circa Sports Nevada app today and place your Circa Squares bet. Turn your big game into a big win with Circa Sports. Pick your own squares at Circa.
I have, it's under my jacket that I have on today, but I have like this quarter zip on. It's, the side of the Super Bowl in New Orleans this week. It's of the World War II Museum in New Orleans. I went there, I think it was 5 years ago. Lorraine and I were on vacation. If you're ever in New Orleans, spend a couple of days there, and if you can just carve out 3 or 4 hours, you could spend 2 days at the museum. It's guy right here, got it on. It's got the patch right there on the left side. I had no expectations. We were blown away. Did not want to leave. So if you're in New Orleans this week or beyond, I highly recommend that you go there. Up next, Circa owner, CEO Derek Stevens in studio. We'll get into this Philly money coming in on the Super Bowl.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Super Week continues. Circa owner, CEO Derek Stevens makes his weekly appearance here on a Tuesday with us, live on Follow the Money. Good to see you as always. How are you?
Real good. How you doing, fellas?
Doing well.
Good, sir.
You
Super Bowl week.
Yeah. How's the action? Picking up?
It could be a little stronger. I would have thought it would have been a little stronger than where we're at. It's okay. But again, it's still early. It's so hard to tell with, 90% is going to come in the 48 hours before kick. I'd say Friday to kickoff, So we just we've not been overwhelmed, I can tell you that.
Why did you guys move down to 1 on the game?
Well, it's been Eagle money. For us, it was pretty straightforward. I think we were one of the first to move to 1, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, we've just seen a lot more Eagle money than what we saw on the Chiefs, and we knew everybody else was at 1.5. A couple places were at 2, but for us, it was just pretty nonstop Eagle money. I don't think you're going to see the plus 104 last much longer.
Really?
So if you're an Eagle fan, I would tend to think you're gonna wanna get the plus 104. I think that's going to be the next one that's going to go.
Yeah, you guys keep taking money on Barkley to win the MVP. Last check, he was at like around plus 260.
Yeah, ooh. I was just pulling it up. Yeah, it's been nonstop. It's a lot of Eagle money though. I don't necessarily think that's going to change coming in. And maybe you don't. I know you guys have talked about this thing that people are calling about Chiefs fatigue. Maybe there's even some Chiefs betting fatigue out there. I don't know.
I could see that.
Oh, does it get to pick at some point?
I did an interview in St. Louis earlier today, and I was asked that question. I said it's a pretty good chance that happens, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you like the Eagles, I would say you want to buy now. Would be my thought of where it's going to go.
You guys did a great job. I love the prop. Will someone 300 pounds score a touchdown? Would have been some of the popular props.
Yeah, this 300-pounder. This is something, It's like, so here's a problem on our app.
Yeah.
Will someone 300? Okay, but how do you know? But it's all listed in the detailed rules. There's a name. Every single person that weighs over 300 is listed, so it's very clear. But on the app, you don't know it. It doesn't list out every name. I think there's Jeff Benson just sent it over to me. I said I need some clarity on this.
Yeah.
So on the names, it's like every name, dun 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 dun, right all the way up and down. So you need to have some clarity on some of these types of things. These prop bets are a little crazy all over. You got to know the house rules at every place you're betting on and all that stuff. So
Love
For
it.
sure.
yeah.
You got that offensive lineman and everything you put up there as well. Can you share a couple that have been popular? I know Nick talked about a little bit on Monday, but if you have a couple you wanted to promote or talk about.
Yeah, there was a couple that were standing out. I got the info from CB just a little while ago. Will there be a 2-point conversion? Is so far that's been our number one bet prop, like a true prop.
On the yes.
Attempt or successful?
Successful.
Okay.
A successful 2-point conversion.
All right.
And that was the number one. Then the number two was Chiefs sacks over 2.5. That's the biggest mover we've had. So we opened Chiefs sacks at 2.5. Over was plus 270. That's been pounded. Now it's over 2.5 sacks is down to plus 160. So from plus 270 to plus 160. So that's the biggest prop that we've seen a line move in at Circa.
Okay, so you opened up plus 270 just for the Eagles to get 3 sacks.
Correct. And now that's been bet heavily down to plus 160 now.
I got to be honest, I totally missed that prop.
Yeah.
Plus 270 feels like a really good number.
Yeah, I think so too
take,
now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. How about this now? So you got 3 properties, by the way. Go to circalasvegas.com, get 15% off, VSiN 15. I asked Anthony Curtis, but you're the top guy to ask. What's the key to a great party, and how are all these parties different? What do you like to see at a Super Bowl party?
What do I like to see?
Or what should you have? Any of it. Any way you want to go. As a businessman, as a football fan, whatever.
This will cover all. You got to have good video. You have to have good, clear line of sight video for whatever you're looking at. Could be, it could be a big screen TV. Could be a 143-foot screen TV at stadium. So you have to have a good line of sight. You have to have good, clear, and crisp audio. That's important. Then you have to be in a comfortable setting. This is not like, this is not going to be a standing event. You're going to be there for 4.5 hours. You better make sure wherever you're sitting is going to be pretty comfortable.
Yep.
Then you got to make sure you have ample beverage and quality food. All these things have to come together. Every one of them, all the stars got to align for a Super Bowl party. You could have one of these things and it doesn't work. You could have a problem like something like, what if there's not enough bathrooms? Well, that'll screw your day up, right?
Yes, it will.
So you got to have all these things kind of come together: quality food, ample beverage, good environment, good audio, good visual, good place to sit, the ability to bet, have your apps loaded up, or have a ticket counter near you, depending upon where you're at. Really, really critical. And then you're hanging out with your friends, your family, all that. You want to be in a nice environment, good vibe, good decor. All that just kind of adds to it.
It sounds like you've done this before.
How big is this that we're getting good weather now? with cabanas and watch it at the pool. If we had a bunch of 40-degree days, and now we're back high 60s or low 70s.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be. I think the high on Sunday here is going to be. It's come down a little bit. It's going to be the high of 61, sunny. At Stadium Swim, though, you always add 15 degrees out there, so it should be perfect.
Right.
And then when the sun sets, you're probably going to have to put a little jacket on or something like that. But the weather's going to be perfect. No rain, nothing. So, no, it'll be good.
Do you remember where you were in 2013, Baltimore, San Francisco Superdome when the lights went out?
I absolutely was. I was at the Detroit Ballroom Super Bowl party up on the 12th floor. I remember that because we had this. Yeah, it was a long. You had this long wait. It was before we were in the bookmaking business, but it was a moment that actually rang a bell to me because I thought, man, look at all these people going up to bet during this power outage, and that's when I got to see. We were at William Hill at that time, but people are just in line, going back to bet. I'm like, whoa, this in-game thing, it might catch on.
Yeah. Did you mind go there? But what if the game doesn't continue? What if this is so bad if it's postponed or if it's a 3-hour delay?
I don't know. I was pretty tied up. I think at that. I never got to that point.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. How about the squares bets now? And
squares are good.
What's the appropriate prop number for the amount of people that are going to buy all of them? Is it 3.5? Is it 10.5? What? Because it happened many times. But what do you think the best prop number is for people that are going to buy every single square?
Well, I would say it's over 3.5 because we've already had 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Omaha Steaks guys came in and they bought the fourth quarter, $20 away, so $2,000 on that. So they did a $2,000 bet on the squares. Matter of fact, they just sent me pictures. They're passing them out at their home party today.
Excellent.
Yeah, you could. I'll show you the pictures here. You can see these guys. They all got their tickets up here. They're passing them out.
See, I wanted to add that also makes a really good Super Bowl party.
Oh yeah,
like the host is going to give away like bets during the game. That's incredible.
That's true. I agree with that. Yeah, they're throwing. Omaha Steaks did something. They're giving out 100 of these things. So that's good. And then we had another guy that came in and did something. I don't know who the other guy was. He did like $2 on every one. So he's in a couple $100.
Okay, right. By the way, to pitch like Stadium Swim one more time, I actually think that now is the best time of year. Like, trust me, like 104 degrees in July 1st is also great to go out there. But we just had a day in Las Vegas where it was like 55. I sat outside with my shorts and a T-shirt on. So like right now out there when it's 60, 65 degrees this time of year, it's immaculate. You can't beat it in my opinion.
Yeah, it was perfect. I played around at golf yesterday, and I took some pictures out to a lot of my buddies in Detroit and Cleveland and all that.
And they were super happy to see those.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
It was good.
Yeah. Did you play pretty well?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, I don't play pretty well. No.
Are you going to be, for people coming out to town for the game, are you going to be making the rounds at all? Are you going to?
I will be at every party. I mean, I'm going to be. We've got all the parties here. I'm going to be watching in Galaxy Ballroom. That's our casino hosted party. We got the Sportsbook behind us. Obviously, we're reserving seats at Mega Bar, at the D. We got the Detroit Ballroom. The biggest big game bash is at downtown Las Vegas Event Center. So that holds 8,000 people. Wow. So that's a monster. So yeah, we got parties all over the place.
Have a great week. Enjoy the game on Sunday.
All right.
Good to see you again. There you go. Circa owner and CEO Derek Stevens here on the program. We'll get to our best bets in pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right, winner with the Warriors. It got hairy. They're up 15 in the fourth quarter, and Orlando battled back to tie it. And the Warriors made all the plays down the stretch and won and covered last night against the reeling Magic. I already gave out the Blazers on G-Bank. Best bet. They've covered 9 in a row. Like BYU money line against Arizona at home in a game they have to have squarely on the bubble. Joe Lenardi Bracketology has them play-in game. They are 11-1 at home, and they open pick up to 2.5 against Arizona. Tough place to play. I think BYU gets the win tonight.
All right, last night, winner first half Thunder -9 against the Bucks. I think they were up by 30+. That was a good one. As we like to say, I wish they were all that easy. Tonight, Arizona, BYU. I bet that game over 152.5, Paul. I think we're going to need some points in that game. And Raptors +6 against the Knicks. Raptors playing some pretty good ball. I know they're down RJ Barrett, but bad spot for the Knicks tonight. On the road now after just a slugfest. That was a great game for like all 48 minutes against the Rockets last night. All their dudes played like 37 minutes. So give me Toronto +6 in this game tonight.
All right, very good. Get free money back in your pocket. Edge Boost pays you to wager. They have your back. It's the first ever bank account built for bettors. With Edge Boost, all your gambling-related transactions will always be approved with no more headaches. Outrageous. Deposits blocked before your big bet. You need cash at 2 a.m. You want to go back to the tables. You hit your ATM limit. The fees are outrageous. The wire, forget about it on over the weekend. Never wait for a wire to clear again. High rollers can move up to $250,000 a day on your Edge Boost Visa debit card. Unlimited withdrawals, works 24/7 instant deposits. And every time you deposit into a gambling account, you earn cashback rewards up to 0.5 percentage point. All this for no usage fees and no minimum balance. This is a bank account, not a credit card. There's no approval required or credit checks. And Edge Boost has a suite of responsible gambling tools to help you manage your bankroll and make informed decisions. Go to edgeboost.bet. Edgeboost.bet, promo code FTM. Start at Tier 2 for faster bank transfers and higher cashback rewards. Sign up for Edge Boost today. It's the real thing. It's incredible. It is dynamite. Edgeboost.bet. Go get it now.
You talked about the Warriors bet last night, and people are speculating whether or not they're going to make a move. That it's going to come back, that 2021 draft where they had 2 picks very, very high. They had number 7 overall, and also in that same draft, they had number 14 overall. At number 7, they took Jonathan Kuminga, 1 spot ahead of Franz Wagner.
When did they take Wiseman?
The year before that, number 2 overall, ahead of LaMelo Ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then in that same draft, they took Moses Moody, 14th overall, 2 picks ahead of Sengun. So they could have walked away with Wagner and or Sengun in that draft. They didn't, and that draft, I think, and the Wiseman pick, probably coming back to haunt them more than anything else.
They're trying to get every known player.
They don't want this this run to end.
Yeah. Well, then you move too, and God knows what they're charging people.
Yeah.
To get in and come and watch them play, and they're a 500 team. Interesting today. Very good. The press conference with Pelinka and Luka as they were introduced. Luka hopes to play Saturday. And all the talk has been in the sports world the last few days with the trade. Luka was asked about his conditioning and what's coming out of Dallas camp.
It's a motive. I know it's not true. I know, but it's a motive. Like I say, I came here, one of the biggest clubs in history of sports, so it's a big motive for a long run here.
They're set up. It doesn't look 270 pounds to me. The other thing, as we said yesterday, I don't care if he's out of shape. He's what he did, 28-8-8, 34-9-10, 33-8-8, 28-9-9, 25 years old, an assassin, unguardable.
I was reminded of this today, by the way, on the Brian Windhorst podcast.
Okay.
Last year in the playoffs, Luka led every player in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. It's never happened before in the history of the sport.
I forgot about that.
Yep. But good move trading him.
Yep. Now, the other guy who pulled this off, and he should win the Executive of the Year award. I don't care if they lose in the first round, what Pelinka was able to do. Here's Pelinka being asked about, do they make another trade and what's coming up?
We know that our roster has continued work to do to become complete. And just to be clear around the vision for our roster, we're going to build a roster that fits J.J. Redick's philosophy his basketball philosophy. That's something that we believe in, that we support, that we want to lean into. So in terms of roster decisions, JJ and I collaborate extensively around that and fitting how he wants to play. We know we have a need for a big. The market for bigs right now, leading into the last 2 or 3 days of the trade deadline, is very dry. There's just not a lot available. So maybe we'll be able to do some stuff around the margins. I would say in terms of a big move for that position, it's probably more realistic that would be something that comes in the offseason. But Luka will be at the center of that as we build for the long term. We want to format a team that fits JJ's coaching style and his strengths and his needs to help us win a championship with the other people that are also on our team right now who are going to be a big part of that winning as well.
Rob Pelinka, interesting answer. And that also adds to why 10-1 is unbettable and lunacy to win the title.
No question.
I mean, if you're thinking about the summer now, which you have that glaring need, and they're going to be sieves defensively.
Can I throw some names at you? USA Today has a story.
Yeah, please.
Possible bigs to go after, like right now before the deadline. Any interest in Robert Williams?
Yes, absolutely, but always injured.
Always injured, unfortunately.
But I don't want to give up a lot for him.
Clint Capella?
Okay, not bad.
Nick Claxton?
Not really.
DeAndre Ayton?
Intriguing, yes.
I would like that move.
Not bad.
How about Walker Kessler?
So.
I think I'd be pretty good on
Depends
that.
Right. Depends what the asking price is.
Again, he would really shore things up defensively.
Yeah, because again, you're 22nd in defense, and bye Christie. Your record's been solid since they put him in the starting lineup, and bye AD. So, I mean, Reeves can't slow anyone down. LeBron's up there in age, and now you got Luka. So
the defense is going to be an issue.
They're going to play some high-scoring games, though.
That's for sure,
man. But then again, they can talk to trash. At least they were playing good ball without AD, other than the debacle in Philly. They went into the Garden and won. LeBron looked like he was 30 years old, rocking the rim and with the triple-double.
Yeah.
Sure. One more from Pelinka about the future of the Lakers.
The urgency is ever present. From the first day I started taking this job till I sit in the chair right now, there's always an urgency to win championships. That's what the Lakers set out to do. That's the expectations of our fans, and we're going to put in the work to constantly try to do it. At the same time, you have to be realistic. And if there's not a championship big on the market right now, I can't wave a wand and create that opportunity. We'll continue to work and look for areas that we can complete and fill out the roster. But as we saw with this trade, it takes two teams. But we'll continue to build. Luka and I spent some time yesterday up in my office just talking about the players on our roster he's played with and kind of what he sees as sort of short-term and long-term needs. And I think we'll continue to have those basketball discussions and get this roster to a championship level.
Very good. And, ask Luka and Redick what they want. I found the back end of that answer interesting about there are a lot of fans and people in the league pissed off. So it ties into why would you want to help them out?
That's exactly where I was going to go next.
Yeah. I'm sick. Everyone is, like you said earlier, how does this keep happening?
Right.
The Lakers wind up with these guys.
So there's two trains of thought, right? One would be the exact opposite. They're the Lakers. They always get their guy. Case in point, what just happened over the weekend. Always getting the next superstar. So he'll find a way to get like that next big to help out in the summertime. But the other one is exactly what you just said. Teams are going to be like, I don't think so, pal. I don't even want to take your calls.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you out.
Yeah, you just fleeced the Mavs.
You played hardball with the Mavericks and you won out. That's not happening here.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen this before. Every time there's a big trade, ESPN grades the trade from everyone. They gave the Mavs an F. I've never seen that before.
It has to be an F.
We did it earlier. Top 5 worst trades in sports history.
Again,
I got it 3.
And by the way, I would tell you the only thing I've ever seen in my lifetime that was worse than this, how they operated here, was the Angels getting nothing for Ohtani. That's the only thing that you can do that would be worse. Stay tuned. Primetime's next. Humans. Von Tobel, he's live from New Orleans side of the Super Bowl. Cashing out Joe Serralo after that. And then in the morning, VSiN by the books to get your day started. Best of luck with your bets tonight.